welcome to Husky Stadium on the campus of Northern Illinois University, where today will crown 4 more state champions in the IHSA State Football Playoffs. I'm Donnie Tillman, bringing you the action from the sidelines as we get set for 4 great games here at Husky Stadium. There you see the crowd starting to file in for the Class 5A state championship that will take place between Lincoln Way West and Nazareth Academy. It should be a good ball game between 2-11-2 teams. As I mentioned, my name is Donnie Tillman. I'll bring you the action from the sidelines. And as I mentioned, we crowned 4 champions on Friday. Today is Saturday, so we'll crown 4 more champions, 8 teams vying for first place state titles. All right, let's run down the schedule from this state championship weekend. In 5A, as I mentioned, Nazareth Academy and Lincoln Way West will kick this thing off at 10 a.m., followed by a 6A showdown between Montini Catholic and Creek Monee. In the 7A championship game, it'll be Glenbard West taking on Libertyville at 4 p.m. And then finally, to kick things off, or close things out, I should say, the 8A championship with Loyola Academy and Chicago Marist. From the sidelines, I'll be down here, but the 2 guys up in the booth that might be a little bit warmer than down here on the field, Matt Roderwald and Chris Highland. Guys, take it away.
All right, Donnie, thank you very much. And from here, yesterday we saw 4 games that weren't as competitive as we liked. Today, going to be a little bit of a different day, I think.
That's right. 4 very good games on tap and 8 very well-deserving teams here at the state championships today.
Let's talk about this Class 5A bracket and how these teams got here. As you see, Lincoln Way West coming from the south to go through Dunlip, Triad, Peoria Central, and also Champaign Central. And Nazareth had to knock off a conference champion, the Joliet Catholic squad they've seen all too often, to get to the state championship, to get back here after being here in Class 6A last year. Let's talk about the offenses here. 2 very good offenses on this Saturday morning slate.
That's right, and both of them rely heavily on the run game. We're going to see 2 fantastic running backs today.
Let's talk about the first one here for Lincoln Way West. They rely on Gabe Montavo, the guy they put on their shoulders for the Warriors.
That's right. He's a very tough kid. He's a wrestler. He's got, as you see, over 2,200 yards running this year and 38 touchdowns. He is fantastic for Lincoln Way West. And on the other side, it's Nazareth's Julian Love. He's just a fantastic all-around athlete. He's got over 1,000 yards rushing, also over 600 yards receiving. He also handles the kick returns and the punt returns for this team. Just an all-around fantastic athlete for Nazareth.
The Warriors are out to play, and the Roadrunners are hoping to race to their 2nd straight state championship. It's Lincoln Way West and Nazareth, the 5A title game, next. Just about set to go here in DeKalb at Husky Stadium, the first of 4 on the last day of the high school football season. Matt Rodewald, Chris Island, Donnie Tillman with you this morning. Let's start with Lincoln Way West. The Warriors, one of the Lincoln Way schools out of Will County, out of New Lenox. Did you see their colors of black, orange, and white? The 2nd place finisher in the Southwest Suburban Red in 2015. As for Nazareth, they're back here in Class 6A from last year, Class 5A this year out of Cook County, just right down the road from the Tri-State off Ogden Avenue, and they are happy to be back, the East Suburban Catholic representative once again. We'll have the kickoff in just a moment. Class 5A state championship next. We are ready to go here on the campus of Northern Illinois University. Nazareth and Lincoln Way West squaring off for the Class 5A state championship. Lincoln Way West will receive first. It'll be Jake Mooney back there to return it, and Aiden Bresnahan will kick it off. We saw a lot of running clock yesterday. I don't think we're going to see that today. The final high school football day of the year is underway in DeKalb. Squibber taken by an up back from the 30-yard line and dropped there at the 31-yard line. You got to look at Jake Price on the return, and Lincoln Way West will start there. See the offense for Lincoln Way West and the Warriors making their first state championship appearance. The newest school in Illinois. Get a look at Connor Lohman, who'll be running things. Modest numbers at 1,200 yards in the air, and he's going to be a 2nd-year signal caller as a junior, so he's got a lot of experience. Looking for more next year. First play, Gabe Maltavo stopped immediately right at the line of scrimmage, met a little bit behind it. Christian Davis in there on the stop, as well as Austin Reifstreck. You look at the Warrior offense and the starters for Lincoln Way West. Jason Luzinski at center, leading the offensive line that is big, beefy, and heavy up front. And when they need some yards, they're going to move to that right side and also look for Jake Mooney to catch some passes. Ben Zordani, the tight end, play action. And not a whole lot of yardage there. And Tom LeBerry, the fullback, out of the backfield, catching it for maybe a yard. Look at the Nazareth defense. They're big up front. Devontae Dunn, a returning starter from a year ago, as well as Matt Prendergast, Christian Davis, a lot of returners from a year ago, and that secondary is athletic as it gets with Julian Love and Ivory Kelly Martin back there running things at safety. Cameron Weems also an interception this year. Chris, this is not where you want to be early on, 3rd and 9.
No, behind the sticks, that's a tough place to be on your very first drive.
Bowman nowhere to go, and he's going to get taken down at the line of scrimmage. And how about that Nazareth defense here? 3 plays and out, and they'll be punting.
I tell you what, they're very fast. Joey Muscolino in the middle. He had 8 tackles in the semi against St. Lawrence. This team runs sideline to sideline as well as anyone in the state. Yeah, Lohman dropping back to pass. He just has nowhere to go. Everyone's covered downfield. He's flushed out of the pocket. And there's the middle linebacker stepping up to make a nice play.
Muscolino, you're going to hear his name a lot today. And so back to punt. Lincoln Way West will kick it away. It's a spiraling kick. And it's muffed at the 30-yard line. Loose ball. And Nazareth ends up with it. You saw Chris Simmons landing on it there to make sure that didn't turn into a disaster.
And that was Julian Love, the man we talked about in the pregame, who handles the punt returns as well. Going to Notre Dame, he's a fantastic athlete. Just maybe the wind played a little bit of a factor in that. The wind is not as strong as it was yesterday, but still swirling a little bit.
It's still breezy a little bit, and it's going left to right for the most part on your screen. You get a look at Carson Bartels. We thought we would see a lot of them last year, but it was Bode getting most of the snaps throughout much of the playoffs for Nazareth in 2014. It's been Bartels' show this year, and right off the bat, Julian Love, shifty inside and outside of tacklers, a pickup of about 14 to be exact, and a first down for Nazareth on the first play from scrimmage.
Love is slippery right out of the gate. Lincoln Way West just cannot get a hand on this guy. You see his lateral quickness. He's got that jump cut that just is so tough to defend. A nice run there by Nazareth on first down.
Roadrunners moving the ball early. And 3 receivers at the top. You see 2 bunch there right at the line, at the hash mark there. It's Bartels who's going to keep it. And he'll pick up some big-time yardage there. Moving off to the left, another 10 yards and a pickup of a first down. Here's the Nazareth starters. Ivory Kelly Martin shined quite a bit as a sophomore last year. You're going to see a lot of him as well. Justin Weller, Chris Simmons, all returning starters. Their skill positions are returning from last year. And Gavin P. Smith among those, with Brian Barrett leading the line. Throwing on first down. Caught! What a catch there by Justin Weller, making that catch. The junior hauls it in. 18 yards in the pickup.
That was great coverage by Matthew Murphy, but an even better catch by Justin Weller. As you see, it's a one-man route on that side of the field. Bartels has Weller all the way, and what a catch for the first down. Nazareth moving quickly, already back to the line.
And a whistle. And an issue with the chains across the field as they moved it there.
This is a huge help for Lincoln Way West to stop the clock. They've given up 3 chunk yards in the first 3 plays, and finally they get to catch their breath a little bit.
Had a hard time kind of untangling the chains there at the first down marker. They figured it out, and it's 1st and 10 from the 30. Kelly Martin on the carry, stopped right at the line of scrimmage, met by Ryan Robbins, the sophomore, with the stuff right there on first down. Let's meet the Lincoln Way West defensive starters. And we've talked about this defense for Lincoln Way West. Been pretty good throughout the year. Cameron Gavin leading the way in the back. Danny Allen with 74 tackles on the year. And you got Trey Tellez. He's the guy, number 50, 14 sacks. He's going to be in the face of the Roadrunners offense all night.
Love the way he plays up front. Very physical, got big hands. He uses them well.
2nd and 9. Bartels the throw. Love with the catch, but only a yard pickup. Good coverage there from Jake Price. He's a short guy, as he's described, and a tough guy, and he's going to have a tough assignment with Love coming out of the backfield.
He's one of a couple wrestlers on this Lincoln Way West team, and Coach loves the way those guys play. They're tough, they're physical, and they get after it. Nice job there in coverage on Julian Love.
Josh Bone and Matt Murphy also going to be spying him a bit. Here's a big third down right here, 3rd and 8. Bartels to throw. Weller down the left sideline, caught for a second and dropped, and it may have been poked away at the last second by Matt Murphy.
That's going to be a heck of a matchup to watch. We've seen it twice. Good coverage by Murphy and a fantastic effort by Weller as you see the play action fake to try and get those linebackers to bite, and then you just throw it up. That's a fantastic matchup there on that left side. Weller with 20 receptions on the year, over 200 yards, and he's got a score, and this is going to be a fun one.
Got one hand in there to knock it away. They're going to go for it on 4th down. Aiden Bresnahan's long of the year on field goal is 22. They're out of that range and into the wind. So 4 receivers to the right, 1 in motion. That's Weller. Empty backfield. Bartels the throw over the middle. Bumped and no flag and a stop for Lincoln Way West, and 4th down. The Warriors take over.
Chris Simmons wants a flag. A good no call by the officials. Pass is a little too high, maybe uncatchable. As you see Bartles with the pump fake to try and get the defense to move, and then he tries to hit that skinny post, and that's good defense by Josh Bone. Lincoln Way West pumped up. They get the ball back.
Chris Simmons wanted the catch there. He wanted the flag. He didn't get it, so turnover on downs. Lincoln Way West will get it back at the 28-yard line. Montalvo up the middle, some blocking, and he almost got to the outside, and a pickup of about 6 right there. And a good chunk, and that's a better 1st down for Lincoln Way West. They're going to have to do that a lot in this morning in order on 1st down to make sure that 3rd down isn't 3rd and 9.
Both of these teams rely on the run heavily, so you need to get chunk yardage on 1st down. You don't want to play behind the chains on 2nd down. This is a very manageable 2nd down. You're able to kind of open up your playbook. If you're behind the chains, you have to get into shotgun, throw the ball, which is not what these teams want to do.
Offset I formation. You see only 2 receivers. Back to Montalvo again, and he gets to maybe the 35, and a host of roadrunners pushing the other way. Christian Davis leading the way, and also Reifsteck in there as well. And so you're going to see a lot of 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, and this is where you get interesting with the chess match between the coaching staffs and what offensive coordinators decide they want to do. And field position matters too at this point.
Absolutely, and Lincoln Way West has a little bit of the wind as they're going to call a timeout. If I'm Lincoln Way West, I stay in my offense.
Timeout.
And I continue to run the ball, and if you get stopped, just go ahead and punt it away.
We'll see what they do when we come back. Lincoln Way West, a tough 3rd down coming up, scoreless midway through the 1st quarter in DeKalb. Out of the timeout, a big play for Lincoln Way West early on, a 3rd and 3. They need to get the 1st down at the 38-yard line to keep the drive going. Matt Rodewald, Chris Highland, Donnie Tillman with you in DeKalb. So glad that you're with us on 3rd and 3. Lohman to throw, and it's incomplete. You want a Dylan McHale there, and Lincoln Way West will punt again. Throwing on 3rd down there, you're going to have to do it time and time again just to make sure that you keep Nazareth's defense a little bit off balance.
Yeah, you have to keep them guessing, and I do like the play call. Be able to get Connor Lohman out of the pocket, a quick rollout. They run 2 very fast out routes with their 2 wide receivers, Dylan McHale and Jake Mooney. Both of them did a good job of getting to the sticks. He had 2 options. Just passed just a little bit behind him on the back shoulder.
Cameron Weems, Chris Simmons will step back deep to return this punt from Kevin Seaman. And it's a big one. And it's going to roll inside the 10-yard line. And so we talked about field position being a factor. That is how you flip the field right there. And Nazareth's going to start big time. A 56-yard punt with no return. Get a look at Tim Rackey. He's been in the state championship setting before. We've talked about it for years. At Driscoll for 4 years, but back-to-back title appearances at Nazareth. And he's really turned things around at Nazareth in the most successful stretch of Nazareth football. And that after being the successor to Dennis Moran, who's now the school president. And it's been Tim Rackey's show.
Yeah. They'd already clinched the division before.
So Nazareth's offense will start at the 9-yard line. Ivory, Kelly Martin, big hole, trying to escape tacklers and spun down at the 32-yard line. A pickup of 23 right there.
That's a fast man, and when you run that triple option, when you've got Julian Love as your first option, and then Ivory, Kelly Martin getting the ball, that's a tough combination to stop.
We highlighted Julian Love's numbers of about 1,000 yards. Kelly Martin with 1,800 yards on the ground, so they'll go to him for big plays as well. Nowhere to go there, and the stop for the Lincoln Way West defense, Dan Wainwright. The 6-foot, 185-pound senior with the stop there.
Nice job of closing on the backside there by Wainwright.
Loss on the play. And when you're playing next to Trey Tellez, you're going to get some space and maybe a little more room to move on that D-line. 2nd and 11. Quick throw to the right. Love on the run, but nowhere to go, and he will be stopped right at the original down marker. Maybe a pickup of 1.
Look at the gang tackling there by Lincoln Way West. A great job of getting to the ball. This team is very fast as well on defense. They do a pursuit drill every day in practice, Coach said, and they emphasize 11 hats to the ball. As you see here, there's a couple of Lincoln Way West players that make Julian Love change direction, and then here come their buddies to help finish off the play. 3rd down for Nazareth.
Jake Price, Josh Bone, Cody Conry, all on the stop there. Nazareth, and we've seen a few 3rd downs already. Bartels to throw, open man Weller caught at the 45, and a shoestring tackle there right at midfield and a pickup of a 1st down. So Nazareth answering the bell and getting the 1st down and moving the sticks. 18 yards in the game.
Lincoln Way West playing soft coverage there. As you see Bartles rolling out to his left. Good job of squaring his shoulders to the line to put a good hard throw out there for Weller.
From the 48-yard line now. Kelly Martin jukes inside, and he's stopped right at the 45, and Danny Allen on the stop.
Danny Allen is the leader of that defense, plays middle linebacker. He's got 74 tackles on the year, 3.5 tackles for loss, and also a pick. He's the commander of that defense, makes all the play calls, makes sure everyone's in the right positions.
They've been pursuing the ball, as we've talked about that pursuit drill. It's worked today, and they've definitely emphasized it. 2nd down. Close to the 1st down marker, and Julian Love squirts through inside the 35, and Nazareth's been able to move the football here early on.
Yeah, a good second effort there by Julian Love to get a few extra yards in the 1st down. Nazareth still moving quickly, not huddling on offense, trying to keep this Lincoln Way West defense on their heels.
10-yard pickup. They go 3 receivers to the top. Option pitch. Kelly Martin gets inside the 30. And so they go to the near side of the field there, and Tellez with the stop. And Kelly Martin a little slow to get up.
Looks like he's okay. Tellez does a nice job of getting into the backfield, forcing the pitch. Danny Allen and then Tellez coming in to make the play. As you see there, Ivory Kelly Martin heads to the sideline.
Looks like he landed on the ball, which may have knocked the wind out of him. And we have a second issue on the field as well, a Lincoln Way West player, and that's Matt Murphy. So he's going to be looked at. And you wonder what that's all about, if he's got his wits about him there.
Appears to be walking fine.
The official kind of stopped him for a moment, but now they're walking him to the sideline, as you see. So a couple of guys banged up on that play.
Looks like Cullen Berry is going to come in, play safety for Lincoln Way West.
One more look at it. The same hit here as they both, and you see, Matt Murphy got his head in there.
Tries to go low. Looks like Ivory Kelly Martin may have hit him with his knee on the head.
Back to action. Bartel's going to keep it inside the 25. Racing away from a tackler inside the 20. He gets down to the 17-yard line. Nice pickup of 18 yards for Carson Bartels.
Looks like he took a play right out of Julian Love's playbook with that jump cut there to avoid one tackler. As you see, it looks like this is maybe a design run all the way. Jump cut right there to get away from Danny Allen. Gets a few extra yards, but it looks like we had a flag on the play.
Penalty there.
Yeah.
Didn't see the flag.
No, tough to see there on the other side of the field.
That's Chris Head.
Illegal formation, offense, repeat, second down.
Chris Head, your official for today's Chicago-based crew. Mr. Golston, Mr. Palomore, Mr. Miles, and Mr. Ouden, they're officials, so we call them Mr. We'll do that today. Chicago-based crew with the exception of Ivan Palomore from Forest Park. So congratulations to our officials. They worked to get here just like the student athletes. Love on the end around. They'll cut it back inside after the penalty, and they get back to the 30-yard line. So that's going to bring up third down and about 5.
Kelly Martin back into the game for Nazareth. We've seen them give Julian Love the ball just about every way possible. We've seen a screen pass, we've seen him in the backfield, we've seen him on the fly sweep, we've seen him run routes as a wide receiver. This is a guy that you have to look out for if you're Lincoln Way West, especially on a 3rd and 5 like this.
Roadrunners. Thought saw some movement there, and the Warriors. It was the Roadrunners.
Ball, false start, number 57. Repeat, third down.
That's Mike Carpinelli. Gets nabbed with a false start penalty. That changes it a bit.
Yeah, you're already playing into the wind. This is a tough part of the field to be in. 3rd and 5 on the 30. You're kind of in that in-between area. Now it's 3rd and 10 on the 40. Maybe if you don't get any yardage, you're able to punt it away. But the wind is just tough. They'd punt it right into the wind. You can't kick a field goal. So this is really 4-down territory between about the 25 and 40.
3rd and 10. Bartels to throw. Has a man caught. And it's Christian Davis with the catch inside the 20-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup.
Nice catch there by Christian Davis. The 6'1" senior goes up and gets this ball running to the right on the run. Nice catch by Davis. That's his 20th catch on the year. He's already got 2 scores. He had 3 receptions in their game against JCA in the playoffs.
One of the longest catches he's had all year. Bartels to throw again. There's Weller again. Nasty hit right at the 9-yard line, and the flag comes out for it. Ryan Robbins got right in there.
Great job by Justin Weller to hang on to this ball. That's Trey Tellez, I believe, that's going to get called on the penalty.
Personal foul, helmet contact, defense.
They don't give us a number. Let's see if we can see it here.
Personal foul, helmet contact, number 50, defense, first down.
That is Tellez called. You can hear the hit on that replay. Just a very aggressive man is Tellez. And Weller appears to be okay, still in the game.
Timeout for Lincoln Way West. We're going to take a timeout as well. Nazareth knocking on the door. We'll see if they can punch it in. Scoreless here in the first quarter in DeKalb in our Class 5A state championship game. Welcome back to DeKalb. Husky Stadium, the site of the 2015 IHSA state championships here on Comcast Sportsnet. First quarter of our Class 5A game with Nazareth knocking on the door and trying to punch it in for the game's first score of the morning. Bartels under center. Fake the handoff, they give it to Kelly Martin right down to the 1. And not much further. Second and goal coming up.
First time we've seen Nazareth go under center. They're going to hand it to their running back, Ivory Kelly Martin. A good stop there by Ryan Robbins coming in to preserve the shutout right now.
See the spread offenses. This is where they have trouble. Really both teams at this point. In modern day football, this is the biggest problem for those spread offenses. Bartels, Kelly Martin, goal line, touchdown, Nazareth. Roadrunners on the board first. Ivory Kelly Martin with his 30th touchdown of the year, punching it in from a yard out.
When you're running behind that right side of the line, for Nazareth. You've got your right guard at 260 and your right tackle at 320. That's the side you want to go to, and they open up a huge hole. The All-Stater there at right tackle. Nice job by Nazareth.
Gone to the right side a few times. Brian Barrett, 6'6", 320, the extra point, up and good, and Nazareth with a 7-0 lead here as they try and go for back-to-back state championships here in DeKalb. Ivory Kelly Martin, you see his numbers so far, and he finished off an 11-play drive, 90 yards.
It's a good start for Ivory Kelly Martin. Came to the sideline in the middle of that drive, but he appears to be okay now.
They've gotten the wind knocked out of him in that hit by Matt Murphy. 12 plays, 91 yards officially on the drive, and a little more than 5 minutes. We talked about it in the open. These two teams, two running attacks here, and really ball control, field position. They didn't have the field position, but they kept control of the clock there, and they punch it in after 5 minutes.
That's right, and they did get a couple of big plays in the passing game. Lincoln Way West playing some soft coverage. They were able to complete a few balls. I'll be interested to see if they continue to play that soft or maybe bring those men up in the pass game.
Low Squibber taken on the other side of the 20. And Kevin Girardi, the sophomore receiver, on the upbacks, taking that kick return of about 13 yards. And Lincoln Way West will start at its own 32. So if you're Lincoln Way West, you've seen a score on the board, no surprise really. You're a run-based team. You know there's going to be a question when you start to not so much abandon the run, but when you start to maybe favor the pass.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not here yet, though.
No, absolutely not. I still stick to the game plan. I mean, Nazareth is going to get their points. There's no doubt. And they've scored 534 points this year. This is a team that's going to put up numbers. You just have to stick to your game plan, and they did a good job on the last drive.
Lohman to throw. Caught, and that's Mooney who gets it at the 38-yard line. Someone's hat came off. That was Devontae Dunn who lost his helmet on that play. He's going to come out. And Mooney there with the catch. And he's their go-to guy.
That's a strong throw by Lohman. A quick three-step drop. The lefty gets it out there to the right sideline. And that's a good start. We talked about it last time. Stay ahead of the chains. Get into second and manageable, third and manageable.
Dave Ernst talking about Lohman being a tough guy, an accurate passer, and a smart kid in his second year as a starter as a junior. And Gabe Maltavo pushing it up towards midfield, and now we see Lincoln Way West moving the football today.
Yeah, and if you're able to complete a couple passes early in a drive, maybe that spreads out that Nazareth defense, creates a few more running lanes up there for Lincoln Way West as you see those big men up front able to move some piles.
Brian Brokop and Jason Wazinski, Brett Bergman, Justin Witt, Nathaniel Henry, the big line for Lincoln Way West. Tim Rackey well aware this is a big line he's got to go against and try and figure it out with his speed in Nazareth's defense. And Connor Lohman's going to take a timeout.
Timeout. Offense.
Lohman didn't like what he saw there, but you're right. This offensive line is where this starts. I mean, this is a fantastic offensive line where you've got Nate Henry, who's a Division I prospect. He's very strong, still learning the game, Coach said. This is kind of his first year. He's really starting to get his feet underneath him. Brian Brokop has got 22, 23 offers going to Nebraska. You got Justin Witt on the other side, left tackle. He's got 23, 24 offers, NC State. I mean, this is a crew that's just powered this Lincoln Way West team. And when I say power, I mean powered this team to the state championship.
It's a Division I line, and right now they only have 23 yards of total offense, but for 5 minutes they didn't have the football, so that's part of it right there. And so I know Dave Ernst and company would like to hang onto the football a little more and control it themselves and control that tempo. And you get a look at the head coach for Lincoln Way West in his 4th season, team's 7th year of varsity football, 38 wins. He is the first coach in school history to get to 10 wins, and they've gotten out of the first round for the last 4 straight years, so they're used to deep runs. But you talk about their playoff success. It started to turn the tide against JCA a couple years ago when they lost a excruciatingly difficult overtime game. And here they are in the state championship game today. 1st and 10 on the rollout there, thrown to Tom LeBerry, just a little bit out of his reach. And so 2nd down coming up. It's just interesting watching this Lincoln Way West team as they've gone through the schedule here. They've beaten the teams needed to, struggled a little bit in the matchup against Thornton, and they had a lead against Lincoln Way North in the final regular season game, but a hook and ladder play tied the game with a couple minutes to go, and then they lost in overtime in the rain, a driving rainstorm. They were able to figure that out and persevere and get to the state championship game. Montalvo pushing up across midfield on the left side there. The tackle made Christian Davis, in on the stop Christian Sampleton as well.
Yeah, when we talked to Coach in the middle of the week about that Week 9 loss, he said that they learned a lot about themselves in that game, and they learned they needed to finish. 14-point lead, you mentioned it, with 8 minutes to go. You got to be able to close. This team wasn't able to do so, and I think they finally got it figured out now. 4 straight wins they've rattled off to get to the state championship.
That is the end of the first quarter. Nazareth with an early 7-0 lead. Lincoln Way West trying to go the other way. Ivory Kelly Martin punching it in. The game's only score after 1. The IHSA State Championships on Comcast Sportsnet are brought to you by Country Financial. Visit countryfinancial.com. Country Financial will help you build a plan with insurance and financial solutions to help you get where you want to go. Call your local rep at 1-866-COUNTRY or visit countryfinancial.com today. It's not that cold, but for that little guy, it's maybe not as warm as he would like it to be as we get set to start our second quarter. Matt Rodewald, Chris Island, Donnie Tillman with you on a Saturday morning. Thanks for joining us here in our Class 5A state championship game. Third down here for Lincoln Way West as we start the second quarter. Hit as he's thrown, and maybe a pass interference penalty as well. See about the penalty. Play had anywhere else to go other than that.
Just throwing it to the sideline, hoping one of his wide receivers would get to it, was Connor Lohman. Looks like
offense, number 23.
He said offense, but he pointed defense. I don't know if we'll get a correction on that as you see Lohman.
Defense, number 23.
There's your correction.
There's our correction. Okay. So it's holding on the defense. That's Cameron Weems. Yeah, maybe there was supposed to be a wide receiver on that sideline, and Weems held him up. That's why he wasn't there for Lohman.
The way that flag was thrown.
Defense, first down.
There we go. The way that flag was thrown, it looked like defense.
It had to have been defense.
So that gives them the first down and moves the chains, and Lincoln Way West will keep this drive alive. You don't get the feeling that they need to score on this drive, but you get the feeling they'd feel a lot better if they did. Montalvo really nowhere to go on first down. Stopped a little bit in the backfield.
It's Joey Muscolino shooting the gap. Middle linebacker for Nazareth. 5'10" senior flying in there to make a play. Nice job. They've really bottled up Gabe Montalvo early on in this game. He's had 2 or 3 runs for about 8 yards apiece, but other than that, he's been fairly quiet.
Muscolino, the team leader in tackles for loss at 13 now in the year. That's second down and 11. They go back to Montalvo and back in the backfield again. Looks like get some help there from Blaine Billick.
A few high fives as he comes to the sideline. Big third down for Lincoln Way West.
Third down has been a bit of a problem for Lincoln Way West. 0 for 2 so far, and the down and distance has not been helpful either. A couple long third down opportunities just like this one. Third down and 11. 2 receivers near side. Nobody to the right. Back to Montalvo again. Tries to shuffle out to the right side, and 3 straight run plays. And they'll bring up fourth down.
Julian Love in there. He's one of 6 players for Nazareth that play both offense and defense. You don't see that very often on IHSA State Championship Saturday.
Yeah,
you see it a little bit more on Friday, but in 5A you don't see as many players play both ways. But this Nazareth team has so many athletic kids that you got to play them both ways.
Yeah, Tim Racky likes to go both ways whenever he has to with the athletes he has, and with 6 guys, as you mentioned, 5 seniors, 5 juniors, and you have a sophomore out there too. They're not exactly, a senior-laden group, but pretty young as well. So the punt, spiraling punt, inside the 10, and it will roll inside the 5-yard line. So favorable field position for that Lincoln Way defense once again. 36-yard punt, and Kevin Seamack has done a nice job.
It's two pretty good punts by Kevin Seamack. He's made Nazareth go the length of the field.
The punt was into the wind there. That stiff wind we've talked about. It's not exactly warm, as we've mentioned. Temperatures, we'll take this compared to what we saw last Saturday. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
34 degrees, and that wind is a little bit gustier than, say, 2 miles an hour on a consistent basis. It gets up in the air. You can see the flags and the goalposts a little bit. You can all see the flag sticks around the stadium as well. Pretty brisk. First down inside the 5. Coming out, Ivory Kelly Martin. Big hole. To the outside, it's a foot race down the sideline. Kelly Martin cuts back in, inside the 30, inside the 20. Kelly Martin to the goal line, and a touchdown of 96 yards for Ivory Kelly Martin, and a touchdown for the Roadrunners.
What a run by Ivory Kelly Martin. It looked like Cameron Gavin had the angle on him, but he cuts inside and he continues to roll. Nazareth now with a 13-0 lead. What a dagger for Nazareth. As you see here, he runs behind that big right side. A nice block by Julian Love out of the backfield, and also Chris Simmons blocking downfield, and he is off to the races. He cuts inside. Danny Allen unable to catch him there at the end, and Ivory Kelly Martin 96 yards to pay dirt.
133 yards on the day, his second touchdown. How about that one play, 96 yards. And when we talked to Tim Rackey about him, he had flashes last year. But you didn't get to see the whole package because he was hurt his sophomore year, and you have seen everything in the arsenal in his junior season. The extra point is up by McKenna, and it is good. What a way to start the second quarter for Nazareth, and for that young man, Ivory Kelly Martin. Catch your breath. 96 yards later to pay dirt. Nazareth in control in DeKalb. Tuesday night, the Blackhawks hit home ice for a Central Division battle with the Minnesota Wild. Coverage starts at 6:30 right here on CSN Chicago. Blackhawks getting a win yesterday against the Ducks. Blackhawks fans in attendance. Nazareth will kick off after the 96-yard touchdown, a record breaker here at the state championship level. Taken by an upback. Jake Price with it, and he gets to the 34-yard line. Late flag that just came in. Look at the touchdown again. He gets the outside, but he needed to make a couple moves.
Yeah, he does. He's got quickness, he's got power, he's got speed. Coach Rackey said he's got it all. Runs between the tackles and outside. He's showing it here on this run.
Receiving team, number 31.
Also see Matt Murphy back in after he got hit in the head.
But he went back down again on that long run. The trainers had to come out and get him. I don't know if we'll see him the rest of the game. That's twice he's had to come out.
Got that elbow right there. And so that touchdown is the longest touchdown in any single class.
Receiving team, first down.
It's going to back up Lincoln Way West just a little bit. The previous records in Class 3A and Class 4A, Jay Buckner out of Anna Jonesboro had a 94-yarder, and Dave Schwabe out of Driscoll a couple years after Tim Rackey was there, the 94-yarder in the Class 4A level.
That one hurts.
Gabe Montalvo on the first down carry. It's the longest TD run in any class, all 8 classes. And in the Class 5A level, Ty Isaac, 71 yards for Joliet Catholic in that wild 70-45 game against Montini. They went back and they went forth, and Montini threw the ball all over the place all afternoon. And so that record eclipsed as well. Still, though, not the longest run for Nazareth this season. That would belong to Julian Love of 99 yards last week. Lohman to throw. Open man and just out of the reach of Jake Mooney. That would have been a big play to get him back in it.
Mooney had Cameron Weems beat down the sideline, pass just a little out of the reach of Mooney. As you see here, Loman does a nice job of putting some touch on the ball. Just out of the outstretched arm of Mooney. Long third down again.
This down and distance is not helping Lincoln Way West early on. And they're looking at a 14-0 hole as well. Big play right here. Loman on the draw. Montalvo close to the first down marker. If he can get to the outside, he does, and a lot of space. Out towards midfield. And pushed out of bounds. Inside the 50-yard line into Roadrunner territory. Gonna mark him at the 48-yard line, a 26-yard pickup.
Gabe Montalvo with a big run finally for the Lincoln Way West Warriors. This is exactly what they needed. Right place, right time. Gabe Montalvo has been their workhorse all year, and he comes up with a big play when they needed it.
Dave Ernst talks about him. Great feet. 4.5 speed in the 40. We talk about how many wrestlers are on this team, how that adds to the mentality of it, and he just adds to it.
Right.
Back to Montalvo again. And they go ahead and inside the 45. And think about the running backs we have today. With Julian Love, you have Ivory Kelly Martin, you got two running backs from Nazareth. You got Montalvo for Lincoln Way West. You look at our 5A game or our 6A game with Prince Walker, and then also Chris Rakovic as well for Crete Moni. And then the 7A game starts, and you got Sam Brodner, and you got Riley Lees as a quarterback who is a running back. It's just a special day of running backs here in the state of Illinois in this final Saturday of football.
That's right. It's going to be a great day. 4 fantastic matchups.
Didn't even mention Daralaja, the running back for Loyola. Play action, Loman looking to throw. Does on the left side. Intercepted. Julian Love takes it away at the 40-yard line. Julian Love with a turnover for Nazareth. Sliding in and taking the interception, his first of the year.
Loman's got to get rid of that ball just a little bit quicker. His first option is covered on the play action fake. He's looking for that corner route. As you see Mooney put his hand up, Julian Love closes quickly, and it's an easy interception for the senior. Look at the way he closes on that ball.
Wow.
Does a nice job of reading the eyes of Connor Loman, jumps right in front of that route, and Nazareth has the ball and a chance to go up big.
See if Bartels puts it up here on a quick change. Midway through this second quarter, 3 receivers bunched to the near side as you see. Bartels will throw over the middle. Weller caught, first down inside the 40-yard line. Big pickup on first down of 21 yards.
I love the way Bartels is throwing the ball today. He has thrown the ball with accuracy. He's been on target all day. Great leader for this team. I tell you what, Nazareth is really rolling on offense. We've seen him do it all. We've seen him go 12 plays, take up 5 minutes. We've also seen a 1-play, 96-yard, 16-second drive. This team can do it all.
I'm going to say he's in bounds there, but the first catch of the day, we got Christian Davis making catch, I should say. Close to a first down, but shy by maybe a yard and a half. The offense rolling for Nazareth here in this first half. They've been able to move the football at will. Option pitch. Kelly Martin stuffed in the backfield. Big stop there for Jake Price, the sophomore, shutting the door.
It's a great play by Jake Price. He's got a great motor. He's a quick guy. Man, he comes flying in there, diving right at the ankles of Ivory Kelly Martin on that pitch. Was almost there. He could have taken the pitch himself. Nice job there by Price. Quick off the edge. Julian Love just couldn't. He just throws his hands up in the air. He says he's too quick. I can't get to him.
Devin Reed being attended to, and we will take a timeout and come back and see if he's okay. You're watching the IHSA Football State Championships here on Comcast Sportsnet. Off the 5'11" senior. Injuries taking a toll a little bit on this Lincoln Way West team with Matt Murphy going in and out a few times.
That's a big loss for Lincoln Way West. He's their leading tackler with 82 tackles. He's got 7 sacks, also 17 tackles for loss at that DN position. He's a very vital part of this Warrior defense.
Love back to the ground to the right side and inside the 35. Late flag comes in. That looks like an eerie play.
Holding, 72, offense.
Get Brian Barrett on that. Brian Barrett's older brother Matt, the former quarterback for Nazareth. That said, he came back and watched a lot on Saturdays and Fridays when he had a chance to drive down from Wisconsin Whitewater, watch his younger brother play. Brian said, you know, I was always the one catching passes for Matt. That's how I ended up as a lineman.
Holding offense, number 72. Repeat third down.
So that'll back him up a little bit here, and that helps Lincoln Way West a little bit. Watch it again.
AC trying to block down on that defensive tackle. Just kind of bear hugs him.
Cortez Mikulski trying to get through there. He's taking the spot of Devin Reed. Also Joe Velasquez. Two guys you see quite a bit on their nickel package. Penalties a little bit more for Nazareth at this point. Bartels will wind up and throw down the left sideline, and it's broken up. Looking for Chris Simmons and Cody Connery on the stop and the breakup for him.
Good play there by Cody Connery, going up and attacking that ball at its highest point as Simmons was a step behind him, but Connery closes quickly. Bartels with the pump fake goes deep. A good throw and a nice job there. Good coverage.
Two hands up, playing the ball there. And so they're going to punt away. William McKenna got a booming leg. He doesn't need it here. Murphy back in, and he will fair catch it at the 13-yard line. So Matt Murphy,
tough kid, I guess.
Tough kid back out there for sure.
Wow.
And so Lincoln Way West will have possession here. That was a big defensive stop for the Warrior defense, and that has to help confidence-wise.
Absolutely. I mean, you're staring 21-0 right in the face, and your defense comes up with a huge stop. Maybe that's something that ignites that sideline, gets that offense going. Maybe they feed a little bit off of that momentum here.
And so first down, long way to go, but Montalvo, hole on the left side, tried to spin back in, but he's going to be wrestled down right at the line of scrimmage. Stop on the play there for Nazareth. Joey Muscolino again. Spying him all day, and he found him one more time.
Julian Love also in there. Yeah, this linebacking core in the secondary for Nazareth makes a lot of tackles. It's not because the teams are getting big runs. It's because they're doing such a good job of playing downhill and filling on run support.
Got Mooney in the slot now, offset eye. Lohman will hand off again, and not much push there. They get just on the other side of the 15, maybe the 17-yard line. And Illinois West has not had the ball nearly as much as Nazareth, and it's shown in the numbers. Take a look at the total yards right there. You just want, if you're a Lincoln Way West fan at this point, down only 14-0 and looking at those yardage numbers, just sustain a drive, get maybe 4 or 5 minutes and maybe a 10-play drive here to get your offense moving and your line starting to beat up on that Nazareth front four.
Yeah, looking at that yardage, you'd think that the score would be a little bigger, but they're doing a good job of staying in this one.
Third down, pick up. Was the catch made? No, it was not, and it's Dylan McHale. Throw was low, and so Lincoln Way West will have to punt one more time. Not been an ideal start for an offense that is not overwhelming.
But they do have some firepower on this offense. I mean, Connor Lohman has thrown for over 1,200 yards. We've talked ad nauseum about Gabe Montalvo. This is just an offense that's having trouble finding their way right now.
No rush in the punt. Wobbler. And it's caught right at midfield. And so Chris Simmons catches it there, and that's where Nazareth will start. About 4.5 left here in this first half. Let's send it downstairs and check in with Donnie Tillman.
Hey, fellas, if you haven't noticed, the Nazareth Academy jerseys all have family on the back of them. Now, I asked what was the meaning behind it, and they said it's pretty simple. These guys are a family. They hang out in school, outside of school, so they are just a very tight-knit group, and that's why they have so much fun, and right now, so much success.
Kelly Martin on the carry, and at Donnie's point, something that they added a year ago, week 9, as they got towards the end of the season, they felt a little fracturing in the team a little bit, so they changed all the nameplates. They took all the nameplates off and they put family on the back, and they rode that to a state championship a year ago. Don't think you're going to see those nameplates come off anytime soon.
It seems to be working out. Why change a good thing?
We are family, for sure. You can tell they're a tight-knit group. Right up the middle. The official making the stop for a minute there, spinning around though and getting to the 34-yard line, Julian Love.
We'll give the official an assisted tackle on that one. I think Love might be off to the races if he doesn't run into the stripes right there.
Yeah, half tackle there. 10 yards of the pickup. Tempo picking up now for Nazareth. Bartell's in the shotgun. Some movement on the line. Bartell's going to throw. Rolling to his right, still looking. Fires down the sideline. Justin Weller caught a sliding catch inside the 20-yard line. Boy, Justin Weller, some big catches, 14 yards on that pickup.
Coach described him in our conference earlier this week as the go-to guy on this offense when they look to pass. And this is a good job by Bartels, sticking in there. It looks like he's got some room to run. You think he's going to tuck it and run, but no, does a good job of keeping his eyes downfield and finding the open man, and a nice sliding catch there by Weller.
Kelly Martin around a blocker and to the goal line as he walks in for the touchdown. Nazareth carving up yards and taking control of this one with a big lead here in our Class 5A title game.
That Lincoln Way West defense looks worn down by that offensive line of Nazareth and the two-headed running attack that is Julian Love and Ivory Kelly Martin. What a day the senior has had.
Touchdown there of 20-plus yards, maybe 19. And adds to the numbers, a huge day here in this first half. Extra point, no problem at all. Nazareth, a 21-0 lead here in DeKalb in her Class 5A title game.
I called him a senior. He's actually a junior. Yeah. I mean, he plays like a senior. He's all over the field, and he has done a great job. Led the way on that 4-play, 50-yard drive.
And one thing that you hear from Tim Rackey and company, you knew the speed was always there when you watched him play. He's one of those guys that now can punish a little bit as well. The speed will always be there, but that extra punishment level makes him a dual threat running back.
Absolutely. I mean, you see Dunn there running around, pulling and creating a path there for Ivory Kelly Martin. And maybe last year he probably takes that ball outside, tries to run it to the sideline, uses speed to run away from everyone else. That's the part of the game that Coach Rackey is so impressed with this year. Is Ivory Kelly Martin has added that power running attack where he runs downhill. He makes that cut, he sticks that foot in the ground, and he runs north and south.
So now how far away from the running attack does Lincoln Way West go? It deflected, it's a live ball. Jake Mooney's got to pick it up, and since it goes into the end zone, they're going to call that a touchback. So for a second, it was a live ball. Free for all for the most part.
Huge break there for Lincoln Way West.
Ivory Kelly Martin taking the series on defense off.
Well deserved.
Being there along with Julian Love from time to time. So this is gut check time right now for the Warriors, facing the biggest deficit they've seen all year long. And this is not how you want to start a state championship game with drives like these. 3 plays, a lot of punting and a turnover as well for Lincoln Way West. Connor Lohman. He'll throw. Wobbler, and it's caught, and a pickup of 3. Jake Mooney there. You just want to get one score back here before the break.
That's right. Yeah, you got to try and chop this lead up. Don't think of it as you know, we got to get 21 points back on this next drive. That's impossible. You can't do it. I mean, you just got to go play by play, try and march your way down the field, and just try and chip away at this Nazareth lead.
Holman again to the left side. Caught and pushed out towards the first down marker. Girardi with the catch there. See them as an automatic. And they do give them the first down and move the chain. So positive there. And that's what you're looking for.
That's right. And I wouldn't be in any hurry here. If I was Lincoln Way West, I'd play a little bit of keep away. Try and use all this 3:05 that's left on the clock. You don't want to give Nazareth a chance to increase this lead. So you want to methodically march your way downfield.
from the 31. Lohman steps into the pocket and throws again, and it's caught by McHale and out of bounds again. So they keep stopping the clock too, and that's not a bad thing. Just chop your way down there, 5 yards at a time.
That's right. Just keep moving.
Lohman now 4 of 9. The yardage for him is not there just yet. Montalvo with 13 carries and 55 yards. He's averaging 4.2 a carry, and that'd be fine.
It's not bad. I mean, that's not a bad day, but for a guy who is, you know, a good chunk of this offense, he needs to get moving.
Tries to shake loose of a jersey tackle there, and he gets the first down. Montalvo picks up maybe 8 yards there. And so with this, when you're talking methodical drive, you can mix in the run and pass a little bit here
absolutely.
too.
Yeah, I mean, this is not. Yes, the clock says 2:45, but this is not a 2-minute drill just yet.
Pressure coming, and Joey Muscolino with the sack. Lohman goes down right up the middle. Muscolino, no shot.
Nazareth has put some serious pressure on the quarterback. The last time he did a nice job of staying in the pocket and throwing a strike to the sideline there, just not enough time.
7th sack of the year. Lohman to throw again. Out route just too far for Dylan McHale to get to.
So this is where you run into the problem. There's 2:20 left on the clock. You're 3rd and 15, and you've got to be very careful here if you are Lincoln Way West of giving Nazareth the ball back with good field position, because they are also going to have to punt into this win.
This will be a key play call right here, just to keep this drive alive for Dave Ernst. Lohman's numbers not great. So they split the backs, shotgun set, 2 receivers to the near side. Montalvo flares out, Lohman to throw, and it's nearly caught, and that screen didn't work out very well. The crossing route for Jake Mooney, it stops the clock, it brings up 4th down, and so Nazareth will have another shot to put one more on the board before the break.
Yeah, Connor Lohman, the pressure forces him to throw the ball a little early, and Jake Mooney wasn't even looking at his quarterback. You're right, you got to be careful here if you're Lincoln Way West. Nazareth, you know, licking their chops, ready to put 28-0 on the board before halftime, and they've got plenty of time to do it. We've seen this team is a very quick strike offense today. They've had 2 drives under a minute.
Wobbler punt. And it bounces the other way, and right at the 40-yard line, Nazareth's going to have good field position at their own 40 after a 20-yard punt. The story of this first half is the running attack for Nazareth with Julian Love, but Ivory Kelly Martin stealing the show with a 96-yard touchdown, the longest run in IHSA state championship history of any class. Tim Rackey in good shape to win his 2nd straight state title. So Nazareth with the chance for one more. Bartels to throw, caught. That's Weller right at midfield. Weller wrestled down right at the 49-yard line.
It's a very strong throw by Bartels, and a good tackle there by Cody Conry.
Thinking kicking, and you're thinking field goals here just in case here. Aiden Bresnahan as long as 22, but he's got the wind at his back, so they definitely need to get in the red zone. But when you have a 21-0 lead, if you get to the 25, you get to the, maybe you try it.
Yeah, go ahead and kick it. Absolutely, state championship game. Why not give him a big stage to get his career long? Just go ahead and kick it.
That was the 2nd time we've had issues with the chains. Something to keep an eye on for the rest of the day. Bartels pump fakes, throws left side, and a little bit too much, and out of bounds for Christian Davis. Good coverage on that as well. So the pickup of the 1st down, that brings up 2nd and 10. So Christian Davis running back. And you know, when you have no huddle, it's tough for the receivers. You run that route, run right back to the line.
That's right.
Run again.
They don't rotate those guys out very often. You see the same 4 line up at wide receiver for most of the game.
Weller in motion. Bartels throws that way. And a late flag came in. It looked like it may have been an illegal block. The old pick play.
It's like they were trying to set up some sort of bubble screen to Julian Love. Weller with the block. This could go either way.
Holding defense, number 23.
2nd and 10, and
there's that man again, Matthew Murphy.
he's had a tough day.
Yeah, he has it, but he reads the screen pass well.
Number 23, first down.
He reads the play, knows that they're trying to throw this bubble screen to Julian Love, but just gets his hands on him a little too early.
4 receivers near side. Kelly Martin also spread out there. Bartels looking over the middle, now to the right side rather, and Ivory Kelly Martin had some contact with him as Cody Connery was step for step. They want the flag, they're not going to get it.
Good play by Cody Connery. Bartels flushed out of the pocket. Ivory Kelly Martin does a good job of keeping with his route. That's twice that we've seen Connery make good plays downfield.
Guys don't like it, but even if it is a penalty, that's smart play because it's only 15.
Yeah.
It's not a spot foul in the high school level where it might be in college or in the pros. No backs again. Love to the left, Kelly Martin to the right, and 3 receivers bunched in. Over the middle, open man, Chris Simmons, touchdown, Nazareth. 50 yards, the route is on for the Roadrunners.
Great route tree there by Nazareth. It's tough to cover all 4 of those men, especially when they're in a bunch set like that. And Simmons runs a seam route right up the hash. As you see him there, he was the inside man on that bunch set. Bartels does a nice job of finding him. I was just about to say before that play, when you see those 4 wide receivers to the right and 1 to the left, Julian Love, the 1 to the left, I have a feeling they're going to start to take advantage of that one-on-one in the second half. But that was a fantastic job of running clean routes. As you see Simmons, his first catch of the day, 1 for 1, 1 reception, 1 touchdown.
Had a 26-yard touchdown catch against Sycamore to open the playoffs. We may have closed this one out with this 50-yard strike right down the seam for Nazareth.
Christian Davis runs kind of a deep in route at maybe about 12 or 15 yards, and that drags the safety over. You see there, yeah, Josh Bone gets turned around. He goes with Davis inside on the in route, and Simmons runs right up the seam. Bartels finds him for 6.
40 yards on the touchdown. That's exactly what you didn't want if you were Lincoln Way West on their last drive. Gave it up, and Nazareth punches it in. A 28-0 lead in our Class 5A championship game. This has been a dominant second quarter from Nazareth. Squibber on the kick. Takes a late high bounce. Little hole up the middle there for a second, and Lincoln Way West with still 1:19 to go. They'll have possession at their 35. The numbers are striking at this point. 163 yards in the air for Bartels. 200 yards total on the ground. Just 26 yards passing for Connor Lohman at this point. They're going to need a lot of help from him here. Final 1:19 and in the second half. Out to McHale around the corner and out of bounds, and very close to a late hit. Didn't see a flag come in.
I think that the official on the sideline did throw a flag.
Oh, there it is, yeah. It is down there.
It's going to be a big play for Lincoln Way West. As you saw McHale come out of the backfield.
Defense, number 52.
So they'll mark it off here.
Beyond Matt
that helps.
Prendergrass, yeah, it certainly helps. That's a big play. McHale on that fly sweep motion just continues his route out into the flat. Kind of run a swing route as everyone else clears out with deep routes down the field. McHale with a big gain, and the personal foul penalty gets Lincoln Way West into Nazareth territory.
At the 41, Lohman goes to work. Right side again, open man, but broken up. Break up for Nazareth, it'll be second down. Let's check in with Donnie Tillman.
All right, guys, Ivory Kelly Martin, he's laying down right now here He's got a quad contusion, so they're trying to loosen it up, keep him hydrated. Not sure what his status is for the rest of the game, but I will keep an eye on it. But he says he can go if he needs to.
Not sure how much they're really going to need him if it stays like this, but you know, when you have the weapons that Nazareth has, you can afford to keep him out for a little bit and try and keep him healthy. He fought injury a year ago. He's been okay this year. Montalvo spinning around. He has been taken out of this game because of the Nazareth defense. Big stop there. Julian Love in on the stop.
Also sees Joshua Oglesby down there now for Nazareth. Looks like he's maybe taking the place of Ivory Kelly Martin on the defense.
Loman to throw, left side, and it's McHale, and he had to essentially try to go back and get it, ended up breaking it up. Danger of Cameron Weems trying to pick it off there. And will bring up 4th down. I don't think you risk anything here and go for it in this spot.
I think you have to go for it now.
Though.
Yep.
So Loman's going to come back out. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Warriors get organized. 2 receivers each side. Left side throw, and it's through the hands of Ben Zordani. The tight end could not come down with it, and Nazareth will take over.
Good coverage again there by Cameron Weems. He had 3 tackles and an interception in round 2 of the playoffs, and he's been all over the place today on the field for the Nazareth defense. Nice job of breaking up that 4th down attempt.
So the Roadrunners take over at their own 41-yard line. And it's 2 schools of thought. You want to put one more on the board, put it away, take a knee, or just run the ball and kind of get out of this half without any major problems.
Ivory Kelly Martin, who is on the sideline, has done some serious damage on the ground. I'd still run the ball.
And Bartels will throw over the middle. And it's an open man. It's caught. Chris Simmons again. Beating his man, Connery. Flipping the field and a big pickup. 32 seconds to go. The clock stops to move the chains. They pick up 33 right there.
I say run the ball, but Matt, what do I know? I haven't won 5 state championships.
I'm going to put one more up here if they can. Bartels. Kelly Martin in motion. Left side, isolation setup. Open man, that's Weller. Caught, and he walks in. Touchdown. Justin Weller. Nazareth gets on the board again.
There it is, that one-on-one on the left side. It's not Julian Love, it's Justin Weller, the go-to guy for this Nazareth offense in the passing game. He is having a heck of a day. Just an unbelievable effort there by Weller, one-on-one coverage. The defender slips. Bartels looking right first, knows he's got one-on-one on the backside. That's Matthew Murphy, the sophomore, frustrated after slipping on that play.
So much for playing conservative. The extra point is good. It's 35-0. You look at those numbers, 7 catches and 120 yards. He came in with 20 catches, and he came in with only 211 yards. He's going to eclipse that in a state championship game at this rate. Lots of hugs all the way around. What happened here? They had a man set up here.
Yeah, what an effort by Justin Weller. A little bit of a wobbly pass by Bartels, but it gets the job done, and the Nazareth faithful are fired up.
Family loving it at this point, and another tough stretch there for Matt Murphy. They've gone at him there. And so Lincoln Way West looking at a very, very difficult second half coming up.
I think that's the 4th scoring drive for Nazareth that has been under a minute in this first half. I'm not exactly sure on that map, but I think that's 4 drives now where Nazareth has scored in under a minute.
Up man taking it, that's Jake Price, and all the way out towards midfield, and 10 seconds, now 9 on the clock. So one more play, you would think, and Lincoln Way West out of timeouts right here. It's a downtrodden group running back out on the field as best they can. They know they're a long way, if not impossible way back.
Dave Ernst has got a tough halftime speech ahead of himself, but you got to try and rally the troops. This game is not over. There's still plenty of time left. If Nazareth can put 35 on the board in the first half, you got to say, why can't we do it in the second half?
Trying to go to Zardani to pick up a chunk of yards on the sideline, and throw was a little bit long. It's not really reflective of the way this team has played throughout the year. Racing out to a 4-0 start. They'll go draw with Montalvo, and he'll get a big chunk of yards if he can get around a tackler, and he won't. It's to the 28-yard line, and so he'll add some yards to his total, but not the first half that Lincoln Way West had in mind. The defending champs are tough to knock out sometimes. 6A, that's fine. How about Class 5A? Nazareth performing on the big stage once again. A 28-point second quarter and a 35-0 lead here at the break. That's as impressive as it gets at this level.
I'll tell you what, man, this is a really good Nazareth Academy team. And Lincoln Way West, a very good ball club themselves. They've got some soul searching to do, though, in the locker room at halftime.
Let's send it downstairs and check in with Donnie Tillman.
All right, thanks, guys. Here with Coach Racky. Coach, I think you guys executed in all phases of the game so far in this first half.
Yeah, we've been playing real well. We came out with a fast start. That was really the goal, to come out with a fast start on both sides of the ball, because they got a heck of a line, offensive line, and a great running back. So I think it was big getting the 3-and-out early, and then establishing our execution offensively and scoring some points. So we're playing real well.
What do you say to the boys during halftime as you get ready for the next 24 minutes?
Our deal is 48. We play the entire 48 minutes. It's not going to be perfect, but the effort's going to be perfect. So that's pretty much what we've been going on all year. We got 24 more to go.
All right, good luck in the second half, Coach. All right, I'll send it back up to you.
All right, Donnie, thank you very much. Carson Bartels throwing the ball all over the yard and helping the Roadrunners to a 35-0 lead. Halftime of our Class 5A state championship game on Comcast Sportsnet.
Welcome back to Husky Stadium on the campus of Northern Illinois University. Halftime of the Class 5A state championship game. Right now, Nazareth Academy leads Lincoln Way West 35-0 in this contest. There was a lot of firsts during the football season this year. One of the most notable was a young lady, Rebecca DeLuca Lane of Glenbard East, who scored the first ever touchdown by a female football player in the state of Illinois. She may have been the first, but probably not the last. In Southern Illinois, there is someone else knocking on the door of the history books. Kelly Burke from WSIL has more.
Victoria Mueller loves to push herself in athletics. She is a four-sport athlete, and she competes in weightlifting competitions. But her favorite sport is football. And when no girl had ever competed for Johnson City's football team, she made it her goal. And she achieved it.
In my 6th grade year during track season, I met the middle school coach, and I got him to help me convince my mom to let me play. And from then on, I've just kind of never gave up on it, because it's one of the best sports I've ever experienced playing.
I have never had a player work as hard as she does to have an opportunity to play. After she does our practice, she stays and does the JFL practice, and after the JFL practice, and she comes out and runs a mile on the track, and then she goes over there and flips those tires. She's definitely driven.
As a sophomore, Mueller starts at running back and linebacker for the junior varsity team. She also dresses for the varsity games. And in week 1 this season, she made it onto the field against Hamilton County.
She earned to be in there at the end of the game last week, and she earned to get her first varsity carry.
Go! Run! Attaboy, Vicky!
The next goal Mueller has in her sights is becoming a starter on the varsity team, something she hopes to achieve as a junior.
I don't like things being handed to me. I like to earn them. So I think that if I stepped up next year and I earned a spot, that would mean absolutely everything that I've worked for 4 or 5 years now.
She has tremendous drive that she won't let herself fail. She does everything that you're supposed to do, and then a little bit more. She always feels like she has to do more than everybody else, and I'm not going to tell her not to. She told me, she goes, I'm never going to quit. You know, so that says everything it needs to say about Vicky.
Reporting from Johnston City, Caleb Martin, News 3 Sports.
And a great story there. Again, halftime of the Class 5A state championship game. Nazareth Academy up 35-0. More from the IHSA state football finals when we come back. Welcome back to the campus of Northern Illinois University. That's the home student center you're looking at right now. Also, that score on your screen, well, it's in heavy favorite of Nazareth Academy, who leads at 35-0 over the Lincoln Way West Warriors. Let's check out how these two teams did in their previous playoff runs. All right, we start with Lincoln Way West, and you can see in 2014, they lost to Oak Lawn Richards in the second round in Class 6A. The year before that, it was a 5A loss to Sycamore in the third round. And in 2012 in 5A, Lincoln Way West lost to Joliet Catholic, that also coming in the third round. As for Nazareth Academy, their playoff history, well, they were 6A state champions a year ago, so they were looking to bring home another state trophy, or at least the first place trophy. In 2013, Nazareth Academy fell to Sycamore in the second round of the 5A playoffs. And back in 2012, it was a loss in the 6A bracket to Prairie Ridge, that loss coming in the third round. Again, the score 35-0, Nazareth Academy over Lincoln Way West here in the Class 5A state championships. More halftime before we get you caught up for the second half here at Husky Stadium on the campus of Northern Illinois University.
Dominant performance from Nazareth in our first half. Matt Rodewald, Chris Island, and Donnie Tillman with you here at NIU's Husky Stadium. Let's go through the highlights of this one. It was all Nazareth in that first half, and really where it starts, not so much the running attack, which we expected, and we saw plenty of it, but Carson Bartels was excellent in the way he was able to find the matchups for Nazareth early on. He was able to throw it all over the yard to the tune of a couple of 100 yards, and so we watched these matchups he was able to find. It's impressive to watch him play.
That's right. He's got 222 yards. His favorite target so far today, Justin Weller, a huge catch on the very first drive of the game, and then Ivory Kelly Martin finishes it off with an easy 2-yard run, and then they flip the field, start of the second quarter, and there goes Ivory Kelly Martin. He runs into that end zone for one touchdown. He runs out of that end zone all the way to the other end of the field, 96 yards to the house for Ivory Kelly Martin.
A state record of any state championship game, the longest run in state championship history of 96 yards for Ivory Kelly Martin. And then the interception from Julian Love that really stopped the momentum that Lincoln Way West was building, and then it's back to Bartels finding matchups and throwing it around again.
That's right, a nice seam route there by Simmons. He scores the touchdown. That gives Nazareth a big lead, and then just before halftime, Bartels going back to the well. Justin Weller, he's got 7 catches on the afternoon, 120 yards and 1 score.
The dagger right there of the first half, and you see the numbers very lopsided, but the really big concern is that third down for Lincoln Way West, just 1 of 7. It's not just the third down, it's down a distance.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what's putting them in bad situations. They're 1 of 7 because they're playing behind the chains. They've got to do a better job on first and second down to get into third and manageable so that their offense can work.
You see the passing yards for Lincoln Way West. They don't pass the ball a whole lot as it is because they usually rely on their running attack, but Gabe Montalvo is struggling as well. They've focused a lot on him. 16 carries for 89 yards. He had a 27-yard run right at the end of the half that really was worth nothing because the clock had run out. It was Connor Lohman, though, it's 6 of 17 in the air and 34 yards in the air, and they're going to have to improve on that in the second half. 35-0, Nazareth, a dominant lead here in the first half. Second half coming up. Welcome back to DeKalb, campus of NIU, Northern Illinois University, and a long way back for Lincoln Way West with a 35-0 deficit here to start the second half. Matt Rodewald alongside Chris Highland and Donnie Tillman with you. A chilly day here in DeKalb, and for folks at Nazareth, they're not even noticing those chilly temperatures, feeling good with a 35-0 lead.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, this has been just an all-around dominant performance from Nazareth Academy in the first half. As the second half comes up, this is a big gut check for Lincoln Way West. I mean, this is a young defense that is taking their licks right now against Nazareth, but you got to be able to find something inside of you to try and fight these last 24 minutes.
4 seniors, 4 juniors, 3 sophomores on that defensive group, and you know, they're dealing with something they haven't dealt with before.
Yeah, it's a very prolific offense that Nazareth has, and you got to do your best to stay in it. And like we said, it's not try and get 35 points back right now. It's let's get 7. Let's get to 35-7, and let's get to 35-14, and you just kind of work your way back into this game slowly but surely.
Let's check in with Donnie Tillman downstairs.
All right, thanks, guys. Coach Ernst joins me right now. Coach, what did you tell the team at halftime?
Well, we got to stay together. We got 24 minutes of football, together as a team, and we just got to keep fighting and, show the kind of character that we have.
What are some of the second half key adjustments you'd like to make?
Well, we got to do a better job on handling the backside run through their linebackers in our running game, and we're widening too much when we're running our 9 routes, and we're getting pressed into the sidelines, and we have to, got to tackle a little better on D. So. Those things.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second half. All right, send it back up to you guys.
All right, Donnie, thank you very much. And you hear a coach talk about character and staying together. They know what they're up against here in the second half.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a team that's going to fight. This is a team that did a good job of fighting back after a tough Week 9 loss. They've rolled off 4 straight wins to get to this point. They know how to fight through adversity. Let's see if they can do it in the second half.
You're looking at Connor Lohman right there. What do you think goes through the mind of a junior quarterback who started as a sophomore? This is his second year. He'll be back and take this learning experience into a very good senior year. We know that. But what do you think you kind of learn in a situation like this when you're in his position down 35-0?
You have to have a short memory. I mean, you can't think about the interception you threw. You can't think about being just 6 of 17 in the first half. You got to be able to flush that, be the leader of this team, to try and gather those men in the huddle and really try and just work your way down the field. It's not, you don't have to worry about being the superhero and getting, a 95-yard touchdown throw or anything like that. Just work on getting down the field methodically, try and work your way back into this ball game.
See him talking to Dylan McHale right there, and you got to talk with your receivers, and obviously they had some miscommunications. There were some throws that were missed. There were some routes that weren't run crisply, as you heard Dave Ernst talk about. If you can improve that just a little bit in the second half to kind of open up, chunks of yards. The longest pass play they have in that first half was 8 yards. They've got to get longer chunks and just at least give Gabe Montalvo a chance to do something in the draw.
Well, yeah, that'll definitely open up that running game for Lincoln Way West, but you have to be able to give your quarterback some time to throw. That big offensive line has to do a better job of picking up some of those blitzing linebackers that we've seen for Nazareth.
You look at the Nazareth folks and a 35-0 lead, and Tim Rackey, we've seen him in this position before, and got to play 48 minutes. Well, they don't need to play perfect 48 minutes at this point, and they probably know that themselves. But for a guy like him who's been in this position a lot, a guy who's never lost a state championship game, 5-0 in his career, 4 of them with Driscoll, 1 last year for Nazareth, and an impressive stretch and the best stretch of football we've ever seen at Nazareth. And this will be the cherry on top of all of it, because of the fact that this group came in kind of unexpected. A dominant team a year ago where a lot of people anointed them a possibility to win it. This group didn't have that, and they didn't have the press that they did in 2014.
No, but you're seeing that they have multiple weapons on offense and a very stiff defense. This is a team that is playing all around good football, but you have to keep them in it. You have to keep them focused, and I'm sure that Coach Rackey is doing a very good job on that sideline of making sure that all 11 guys on the field and every single blue hat on the sideline is still in this game.
Their season really turned to Marion Catholic when they went up to Marion Central Catholic, I should say, up in Woodstock, and they dropped the game, a rain and lightning filled kind of game, and they get thumped pretty good, 34-19 in week 4, and Tim Rackey's the first one to say, I didn't handle that rain delay very well. I didn't handle the lightning delay very well. These kids usually know how to kind of turn it on, turn it off. Maybe it was something I did. So they really refocused. They got a couple of wins, dropped the tough one against Joliet Catholic, and they kept rolling that offense. So the rest of the year has been untouchable. and they have looked good to this point. That loss also took them off the radar a little bit too.
Yeah, it did. And I mean, this team has been rolling ever since that first loss. You see they've got 19 points in that first loss, but ever since then have been rolling.
Kelly Martin trying to turn the corner in the opening kickoff of the second half. He gets a block down the sideline, still in bounds and all the way out to midfield. And the good times keep coming for Nazareth after a 45-yard kick return for Ivory Kelly Martin.
That's the way to make something out of nothing. He has trouble with the kickoff, and some of the blocks get messed up, a little bit of the timing there with his off returner Julian Love, but Love goes and finds work, and so do the rest of those baby blue jerseys. And a nice run by Ivory Kelly Martin to start the second half. Good to see him out there after he was being worked on. They said he had a quad contusion late in the first half, but he'll start the second half in the backfield for Nazareth.
Nightmare for a special teams coach to see a kickoff bobbled when you're on the kickoff team, because what happens? People come out of their lanes. Julian Love shaking his way down the sideline and getting a first down. Julian Love heading to Notre Dame next year. He'll play defense, but you can see that he's handy with football and can play on both sides of the ball just as equally at this level.
That's right. As you see the big left guard, Devontae Dunn, pulling around, creating a hole for Julian Love down the sideline. A big first down gain to start the second half.
Opening drive of the second half, Nazareth trying to put it away. Give to Kelly Martin, and maybe 2 yards on the pickup there. So the Warriors defense slow him down for just a bit. They haven't been able to slow down Carson Bartels though. 222 yards and efficient, and 2 touchdowns. He had those late, and an all-around performance by this Nazareth offense today. He's over 2,000 yards passing for the year. Throw to the right side. Love with the catch and run about 5 yards. Get close to the 30-yard line. Bartels last week in St. Lawrence in that semifinal win. Everyone had to deal with this up in the northern Illinois region with the snow. 0 of 4. Yep. So the numbers don't look great. Of course, he was throwing it in the blizzard.
That's right. 0 completions in that semifinal. He did have a good day in the quarters. He was 12 of 17 for 183 yards against JCA. But yeah, I think the stats were very similar all the way across the state. It's a tough day.
Ball start. Number 57.
You're going to look at those numbers 20 years from now. Ask his kids, will be like, hey, you didn't complete a pass the week before in the semis, and then you had one heck of a first half in the state championship game. What happened, Dad?
A little bit of an anomaly.
I don't know. It was a blizzard we were playing in. 17 inches of snow.
Tough to even see your wide receivers.
Well, the numbers continue to grow as the years go on, right? That's how those stories go. So third down after the false start. That backs him up a little bit. Third down and 9. Bartels over the middle. Has a man short of the first down. Christian Davis won't get there. Fourth down coming up.
Offense staying out on the field. They want to go for it. Crossing routes on the left side. He finds the inside receiver, Christian Davis. It still brings up a 4th and 5.
Just kind of in between here. If you're Nazareth, do you want to punt? Do you want to go for it? Because you're at the 32-yard line.
Looks like they have finally made a decision. They are going to go for it, it looks like.
Split 3 receivers out to the right, couple in the slot, near side receiver as well. That's Chris Simmons. Bartels looks his way. That's Justin Weller, the catch and the first down. Beat Matt Murphy at the 15-yard line and move the chains again for Nazareth after 19 yards.
Justin Weller again single covered there on the left side. Just an easy in route there. He runs a kind of a skinny post. A quick throw by Bartels, and Justin Weller with another big catch. Nazareth huddling for the first time on offense.
And Muscolino comes in as well.
We've seen him go under center in the red zone twice now today.
They go offset I, and they move it back to the left. Well-handed, ball loose, exchange not handled correctly, and it was Simmons, I believe. Nope, that was Julian Love.
For a team that doesn't go under center very much, they've had some trouble now running out of that I formation, and I don't see Ivory Kelly Martin on the field. Maybe he's back getting worked on the sideline. So Julian Love is the deep back in the I formation. and coaches have some trouble.
Love also now has to come off.
It's like maybe blood on the uniform for Julian Love, so I wonder who they're going to put back there. Oh, there comes Ivory Kelly Martin off the sideline.
Must be tough when you lose one speedster can do everything running back, and you put another speedster can do everything running back right back in there.
1,000-yard rusher comes out, and 1,900-yard rusher comes in.
Isolated receiver to the top. Simmons in motion across. Toss to the right. Kelly Martin trying to turn the corner, and he does. 10-yard line, and he walks in for the touchdown for Nazareth. 17 yards. Ivory Kelly Martin, his third touchdown of the day.
The Nazareth Academy offense stretching that Lincoln Way West defense all the way to the sideline. Good block out there by Brian Brent, and it's Muscolino. And also Chris Simmons with a good block downfield, springing him free. Coach Racky pretty happy. Still all business.
Yep. Extra point, up and good, and Ivory Kelly Martin, that's touchdown number 4 on the day. 12 carries, 171 yards. And Ivory Kelly Martin, a day to remember. Nazareth cruising to a second straight state championship. Monday night, the Bulls return to the UC as they meet the Spurs for the first time this season. Coverage starts at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. A little flat in Indiana last night. Bulls will be happy to be home for the first time in 2 weeks. Kickoff taken. Dylan McHale, the up back, and he ends up with it. Flags all over the place. And mark it at the 39 for the moment. Clock will run the rest of the way with a 40-point lead. Talked about it in our open, and we are definitely surprised by this.
Absolutely. We saw 3 running clock games yesterday, but we did not see this coming.
Personal foul. Face mask, number 16. Big one.
And we worried about the fact that, you know, from a Lincoln Way West standpoint, Nazareth gets the ball out of the half and march right down and score and do what they need to, and you see Ivory Kelly Martin getting looked at again. That drive of 7 plays and 52 yards pretty much seals it up.
Absolutely. This is a very good Nazareth team, and they have shown it today. And now it's, if you're Coach Racky, it's maybe time to get some of those other guys on the sideline into this one. But Lincoln Way West, you still got to fight. If you want to be a starter out there, you want to play all 4 quarters and, you know, try and get back into this one as much as you can.
Gabe Montalvo has been bottled up all day. It's his 17th carry of the day. He's going to get over 100 yards. But they haven't been able to really do what they've wanted to. They have not been able to match the rushing attack of Nazareth. So this Lincoln Way West team, you know, they've been able to fight in some tough battles, but they were blitzed from the outset and had no answer really. Long throw down the left sideline, and Mooney was there. So are a bunch of flags. Chris Simmons on the coverage there, and pass interference penalty coming up.
It's an easy call for the officials when you don't turn your head back towards the line of scrimmage. It's easy for those officials to make that call.
Holding. Defense, number 6.
So Simmons gets the penalty. No face guarding, can't do that.
You got to turn around. You got to at least make an attempt, and you see him also holding that right arm. Jake Mooney.
Simmons on the right side, Cameron Weems on the other side. Weems, a returning starter from the 2014 state championship game. They run ahead, Montalvo up the middle, and a little bit of room to run there, and they get to about the 20-yard line. So now you're starting to see Lincoln Way West move the ball a little bit, 13 yards, and so he clipses the 100 for the day on his 18th carry.
Good run there. That offensive line finally moving some bodies around. Brian Brokop, the big right guard, going to Nebraska, pulls and creates a hole. Montalvo walks right through it. Now over 100 yards on the day. That's a good day, but not the day he wanted.
1st and 10. Loman to throw, and Tom LeBerry the catch, and he gets down to the first down marker. They're going to keep clock running, of course. He's out or not. Now he's down with an injury. And we'll take a timeout. Tom LeBerry getting looked at. We'll be back. Stay with us. Welcome back to Husky Stadium. Matt Rodewald, Chris Island, Donnie Tillman with you here. Lopsided affair with Nazareth dominant from the start and a 42-0 lead here. Tom LeBerry helped off. Lincoln Way West back on under center with Gabe Montalvo to about the 10-yard line. And for the Warriors, they continue to push ahead. See if they can get in the end zone here.
Right, first down, first and goal. The first time they've been this far into Nazareth Academy territory. As that looks like Julian Love limping off to the sideline now for Nazareth.
Injuries starting to take their toll, but this one well in hand. See both coaches think about the idea of getting some of their reserves in with a running clock a little bit more so. It's been an injury-filled state championship game. We've seen a lot of guys go down, a couple guys come back. Mac Murphy got hit a couple times, and he ended up coming back into this one. So back to action. Loman will keep it up ahead, and ball came out at the 8-yard line, and it's going to stay with Lincoln Way West.
First time we've really seen Connor Loman run the ball all day, and he loses the football. Able to jump back on it, though, maintain possession. Second down now for Lincoln Way West.
See Montalvo come back in for a second. Get a look at the helmets here for Lincoln Way West, and we'll show you in just a second. You see him turn his head. We'll tell you what that is in just a minute. Two receivers to the top. Montalvo tries to cut inside, and he gets to about the 7-yard line. And we wanted to talk about this, and we know Tom LeBerry went down for a second, and you see KL on the back of the helmets right there for Lincoln Way West. That is for Kim LeBerry. It's the mother of Tom LeBerry, who died a couple of weeks ago after fighting a 10-year battle with an immune disorder. And Tom has been a model citizen for talking about it and being open about it and using football as therapy. And it's been impressive to hear what he's had to go through. He's out injury, and I know his mother would be proud to watch the way he played in the state championship game. You see Gabe Montalvo get into the end zone for Lincoln Way West. Kim's cheering upstairs as she watches the Warriors get into the end zone. A tough day for the Warriors, but Montalvo finds 6.
Again, you see Brokop pulling around. This is the exact same play they run earlier. They love to run that power where they pull that guard. He creates a hole. He gets 2 Nazareth Academy defenders there, does Brokop, and Lincoln Way West finally on the board.
His 39th rushing touchdown of the year. He goes right to the bench, though, obviously hanging his head a little bit. 21 carries, 116 yards. The number's okay. The result, not so much for his Warriors right now, down 42-7 here in this third quarter. Montalvo really is a guy, is a product of his brother. He and Javier, tough wrestlers, both of them, both great kids. And when you talk to Dave Ernst, he really credits his older brother for really turning the tide for this program.
Yeah, he talked a little bit about it when he had to make the change and put the older Montalvo in there a couple of years ago, and Gabe has picked up the torch and ran with it this year, and he had a fantastic season, over 2,200 yards rushing and 38 touchdowns. Not the result he wanted today, but hopefully he can look back on this season and reflect on what a fantastic year he had.
Just one heck of an athlete all around. And Lincoln Way West as a school, it's the youngest school in the state of Illinois, but you've started to see basketball. They played pretty well. They're a little short-handed right now. A couple of guys coming back next week. They have a chance to do some things in the tournament. Football has been very consistent, good from the start. Really, the Lincoln Way area we know has always produced good football talent. But even when they've started to split off, we've seen other school districts that have grown, like the Plainfields, the Oswego's up in these parts up in northern Illinois, and they don't always sustain that success. St. Charles, another example of that. When they split off, you haven't had the same kind of success. Nazareth on the return, nasty hit there from Ivory Kelly Martin taking that. You see the kind of sustained success for Nazareth today. That first drive, they turned it over on downs in Lincoln Way West territory. After that, how about 6 of the next 7 possessions, touchdown?
That's pretty good. And yeah, you see 4 of those drives under 1 minute. The big one, the one play, 96-yard run by Ivory Kelly Martin. That was kind of a backbreaker, even though it was only 14-0 at the time. You saw the wind go out of the Lincoln Way West sails there.
The one thing to note, though, is with Lincoln Way West, the Lincoln Way schools, and they've split off, and they've actually been able to keep those schools all competitive at football.
False start, number 56. Repeat first down.
We've seen Lincoln Way East get to the state championship game early in its tenure, and then we've seen Lincoln Way North consistently do things to get deep into the state tournament. Lincoln Way West, also one of those teams, have been in the quarterfinals a couple of times, and 2012, 2013 as well. So there's a lot of good football in the Lincoln Way schools, and that's hard to keep up. And that's a credit to a lot of the coaches and a lot of the youth programs, and you're going to see a Lincoln Way school back here again.
Well, and this school is going to have a different look next year with one of the Lincoln Way schools closing. These teams are going to kind of get shuffled around a little bit, but with one school closing, you would think that would kind of consolidate all the talent into the 3 new schools, and it could sustain success in football and other sports for years to come.
Shuffle the deck a little bit. You see Ivory Kelly Martin still in there. Final minute of this third quarter. Trey Tellez on the tackle there, the 6'1" junior. He is going to be a load when he returns next year. And the good thing for Lincoln Way West, you talk about a junior quarterback that's going to come back, your junior leader on the offense, and your junior leader on the defense, both coming back next year.
Yeah, and this is a team that's gonna be in position to make a deep run in the playoffs again next year. Very young team on offense and defense as well. And yeah, you got to love the way Trey Tellez plays, as you see him getting after Bartels there, flushing him out of the pocket.
Tough hit there, about 2 yards beyond the original line of scrimmage. Gets out to the 40-yard line. Bartels gets up, shakes it off, and he's fine. And he'll go back to the huddle. With a 42-7 lead, taking their time in the final 10 seconds of this third quarter. That may be the last play of this third frame. Nazareth looking good, a 42-7 lead, 12 minutes away from another state championship. We'll be back on Comcast Sportsnet. (42-7), Nazareth with a dominant lead as we head to the fourth quarter here, and the rushing attack for Nazareth has been impressive. Ivory Kelly Martin all over the field.
All right, he has gone left, he's gone right, he's gone between the tackles, he has gone up the sideline, as you see him cut one up here for 6 behind the blocking of Devontae Dunn, and this was the big one. 96 yards down the sideline, he cuts it back inside. I tell you what, Ivory Kelly Martin is having a career day on the biggest stage in the 5A state championship.
That wasn't exactly an easy 96-yard run either. And a penalty right off the bat.
Dead ball. False start. 56 offense.
So not quite underway in this fourth quarter. See, they're not used to the television aspect, so they're sitting out there waiting to go. It's not an easy rhythm to get into from a television standpoint for a lot of these guys being on TV for the first time.
Yeah, it's a little bit tougher when you have to deal with media timeouts and all the different aspects that come with being on TV, but what an exciting day for these kids.
Coaches love it, don't
Absolutely.
they? They just love the television aspect of it. Bartels to throw. Pressure coming, he escapes it. And will get it off and get it away, and it's intercepted. Jake Price with the takeaway inside the 50-yard line, and some good news for the Warriors. They take control.
What a play by the sophomore to go up and get this ball. Nice job there to pick off Bartels, his 10th interception of the year. As you see, he's looking left. He's got to get flushed because there's too much pressure. Trevor Schmidt in there creating that pressure, and you know, up 42-7. I understand you want to make a big play, but there's, you know, I'm sure there's part of head coach Tim Rackey that just wants his quarterback to step out of bounds and live to fight another day on offense.
Cody Connery also on the coverage. He's been pretty good all day. So Lohman, here's the reverse, the flea flicker, and he's got an open man. If he can find him, Lohman heaves it down the field. Jump ball for Dylan McHale. He makes the catch inside the 10. Now Warriors having a little fun here. Why not?
Why not is right. What a play by Dylan McHale. He had the defender beat, but I think Connor Lohman had some difficulty getting his hands on the football there after the pitch. As you see, there's a handoff to Montalvo, then the reverse to Mooney. As McHale runs down the seam, Lohman has trouble getting his hands on the ball, and McHale actually has to come back to the ball and make a great play. Lincoln Way West, why not? You pull every trick in the book at this point.
Montalvo inside the tackles to the 2, all the way to the goal line. Did he get in? Yes, he did. Gabe Montalvo barreling his way into the end zone. It's a touchdown for Lincoln Way West.
Warriors showing a little bit of life here, and this is exactly what you want to see if you are Dave Ernst on the Lincoln Way West sideline. Your team continues to fight. They're not going to give up. They want to get the most out of this experience playing in the 5A state championship, and what a job they just did there to march down the field quickly.
Cuts the lead a little bit. The extra point is up, and it is good. Some resolve from the Warriors. 42-14 in our Class 5A state championship game. We'll be back. The IHSA State Championships on Comcast Sportsnet are brought to you by Country Financial. Visit countryfinancial.com. Country Financial will help you build a plan with insurance and financial solutions to help you get where you want to go. Call your local rep at 1-866-COUNTRY or visit countryfinancial.com today. 42-14 here at Husky Stadium. Matt Rodewald, Chris Highland, Donnie Tillman with you. Our next game will feature Montini and Crete Moni. We're looking forward to a lot of speed on the field in that one.
That's right, two very quick teams, Crete Moni and Montini. Moni likes to run two different quarterbacks in there. Montini likes to stick with the same quarterback, and I tell you what, a lot of team speed out there in game number 2 of the day.
You got a quarterback who likes to play running back, and then another quarterback comes in, and on the other side you have a quarterback who was a receiver last year, is now a quarterback.
That's
Get
right.
all that? Okay.
I've got it.
Little quick kick and onside-er. Well, why not at this point? And how about Lincoln Way West? Trying to have a little fun here. Yes, they're down by a lot, and they know it, but a little flea flicker, a little reverse for everybody. You mentioned Connor Lohman having a little tough time with the grip on that one there. That was a wounded duck, he'll tell you that. Still caught, though, by Dylan McHale. And a touchdown from Montalvo. I feel like Montalvo's still running here in the second half.
I like that he's running hard. He's going to have good numbers at the end of the day. He's got 125 right now, and he is, you know, keeping the life in this Lincoln Way West team.
So back to work for Nazareth. Clock running here. And Julian Love.
Good to see him. Good to see him back out there after he went off the field with an injury the last time Lincoln Way West had the ball. You could kind of hear everyone in South Bend, Indiana, hold their breath as he limped off the field.
What's he doing in a 42-7 game? Well, you know.
That's right. Coach Rackey said we're going to play all 48 of them. So
Tim Rackey's not concerned with your gold helmets.
he's worried about winning a 5A state championship right now. And I don't think Julian Love would have it any other way.
Tempo slows down here. Bartell's going to let the clock run. And so the end around for Nazareth, and that was the first look at Jermaine Baker. Check that, Cameron Weems, I should say. A 3rd and 1 coming up now for Nazareth, and they're right at midfield. Starting to work some irregulars in. Cameron Weems, a defensive guy, plays a little bit on the offensive side. Getting some carries here.
Nazareth also going under center for the first time in the open field today.
Somebody moved.
Causes some trouble for this Nazareth Academy team.
Dead ball. The LaGrange offense.
Took a little long there. Well, Ivory Kelly Martin, an impressive day for the Nazareth junior. 4 touchdowns, 170 yards. And a big one of 96 yards. And we talked about it. It was only 14-0 at the time, but when you flip the field like that, that is just mentally a difficult thing to come back from. And that's been proven the case here today.
Absolutely. I mean, this Nazareth team just continues to punch Lincoln Way West right in the mouth and with this running attack.
Joey Muscolino carried the ball 13 times this year, so he's had his fair share in the backfield. It's going to bring up 4th down, so Nazareth's going to punt it away. And for Nazareth, it's 2nd straight state championship coming. And you think about Tim Rackey and what he had to build here. In his time at Driscoll, he lost 13 games in 7 full seasons. In his first 2 years at Nazareth, lost 12. So he got used to the losing a little too quickly. It took him a while, but they started to turn the tide. And over the last couple of years, they started to figure it out. 14-0 last year.
Offense.
And that's a penalty that in the NFL would give you a little more room to punt, but 14-0 last year, and he talked about that team being so dominant that, well, I guess maybe that was it. And then this year, this group a little more boisterous, or a little more quiet, I should say, on the flip side, not as boisterous, but just one of those teams that you kind of felt, well, maybe they'll be challenged by what they saw from a year ago, and it turns out they were.
Yeah, Coach Rackey took his licks in his first couple of years at Nazareth Academy, and he's done a great job of turning this program around, as they're just going to let more and more time run off the clock. They finally decide to punt it away.
And they let a lot of time run off the clock there and punt it out of bounds inside the 5. The long run that we talked about from Ivory Kelly Martin, 96 yards. This was it right here that we talked about. He got to the outside, and he knew he had a chance, but it's the cutback right here that's the most impressive. And so with that run, he goes into the record books, Ivory Kelly Martin. And take a look at it. You look at the 5A one right in the middle there. You know the 4A run a little too well.
I do, yeah. Dave Schwabe was a fantastic running back for Addison Driscoll back in their heyday. A few years after Tim Rackey left that program, they continued to win state championships. I was a sophomore on Central Catholic down in Bloomington in 2007, and Dave Schwabe and the Driscoll team took it to us that year.
So that 96-yard run eclipsed all of those runs on the screen you see otherwise. This is the longest run in state championship history. That is impressive. That's 40 years of football in a lot of classes. And you heard the fans kind of chirping there a little bit before that punt. 3 straight plays where they let the clock run down on the 25-second clock. And in a running clock, Lincoln Way West fans want to see their kids play.
Absolutely, yeah. You want to get as many guys into this game as you can now. See, Ivory Kelly Martin's day is done. He is one of the 6 guys that plays both ways for Nazareth, and he has come off the field. Montalvo's still running hard, though.
Still up ahead. You see a tackle made there. Josh Santee, the 6-foot senior, has had some time there. 11.5 tackles on the year. A couple of solos for him. Montalvo still running ahead. Pushing out to the 25-yard line. Start to see guys in there that you wouldn't normally see.
More substitutions for Nazareth.
watch out for that.
Mercado's in there now. Looks like they're getting the Gatorade buckets ready.
Say, if you're not on the field, you're either cheering your teammates or you're kind of keeping an eye on this thing there.
Look at the trainer there. He's an accomplice. He's telling them which Gatorade buckets are the most full.
Run up ahead again, Montalvo, and Freddie Lockey, 5'9" senior, making the stop there for Nazareth. Get a look at Gabe Montalvo, and also Jordan Tellez, the sophomore, out there as well. Lohman will throw, and Mooney turned around and almost had it. Almost had a look at it as he almost ran underneath it. Kevin Schicks out there, the 5'11" senior for Nazareth.
Lohman just throws it to the wrong shoulder.
For Lincoln Way West, the most successful season in their school's young history. And you would hope that it gets a chance to keep going. We talked about the Lincoln Way issues with the school district. Montalvo on the run again, out near midfield, tries to turn the corner and steps inside of a tackler and taken out around the 43-yard line. Gatorade bath for Tim Rackey. He's had that before. And hugs all around, Chris Simmons and company.
The element of surprise there a little bit early. Still a minute 50 on the clock. It might have shocked him after that long run. He's focused on getting his defense in line as the play runs right by him.
That's when you do it, because you're not paying attention at that point.
Element of surprise there.
So fresh set of downs for Lincoln Way West as they finish this up. Montalvo, more room, gets to the outside. Lincoln Way North is going to close this year. They had a magical run to the state quarterfinals and included a very hard loss for Lincoln Way West in week number 9. And you kind of rooted for Lincoln Way North. And now this page turns, because this past summer, when the Lincoln Way schools weren't sure what they were going to do, Lincoln Way West wasn't sure if they were going to be the ones that close. And now it's still not out of the woods just yet. That school may close, and their hopes were that if they won a state championship, they can't close us. They can still be very proud of the performance they put out here today to get to this point.
Absolutely, and we were even talking to head coach Dave Ernst about that situation, and he said that all the coaches after this game are out of a job. This is the last time he will be the head coach of Lincoln Way West for now.
They will open up all the positions, and they will do it all again.
Yep.
So that's a very tough thing for them to go through, and a bittersweet end to a very, very special season. But for Nazareth, hugs all around. Maybe they weren't expected to get back here. Montalvo loose, and he'll go to the corner, and he will get into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the day of 31 yards. Gabe Montalvo, well, he has continued to dig and showed the resolve of the Warriors here, and he's exhausted.
Showing a little bit of emotion there as his offensive linemen greet him in the end zone. He's over 200 yards now on the day. 220 yards and 3 touchdowns. Those are numbers that you're going to be able to look back on and say that you had a pretty good day. It's just that the final score, the number that really matters, did not fall in your favor as you see him and his head coach share a moment there on the sideline.
Thank you from the head coach. Thank you for doing all the things in the summer. Thank you for doing all the things in the weight room. Thank you for working so hard in practice. And thank you so much for being such a great leader. Gabe Montalvo finishing up his career in the end zone, as he should.
I give that man a lot of credit. It took a lot of heart to stay in this game, and he certainly did all throughout this day. He played all 48 minutes hard for Lincoln Way West. A very emotional Gabe Montalvo on the sideline, but you know, he's got nothing to hang his head about. He had a great year, this Lincoln Way West program. He put him on the map, and just a fantastic effort. I give him a lot of credit, showing some courage and some heart on that Lincoln Way West sideline all the way till the end.
It's a tough look for a running back who's gone through everything you've asked him to go through. And it's the last time he's going to have that uniform on. Contrast of emotions. Happy sideline over there. And we talked about it. We kind of alluded to it. Nazareth expected last year no shock whatsoever. This team, depending on the bracket, you had to get by Joliet Catholic, and a lot of people were surprised by that. The family stuck together, as you can see, and Julian Love and company found a way to get back here and to do it all over again.
That's right. Coach Racky described that Joliet Catholic win as a very fun win, and of course it was fun for them because they were on the right side of it during the playoffs after avenging their loss in the regular season to Joliet Catholic.
Open hole on the right side on the kickoff return. Why not? Chris Simmons racing forward, and that will do it. Nazareth comes back to do it again. The Roadrunners race their way into the history books with their second straight state championship. Nazareth, #1 in 2015.
What a performance by Nazareth today. A 42-21 winner over Lincoln Way West, where they dominated in all 3 facets of the game. Their offense, 500 total yards on the day.
500 to an even 300 in a 42-21 win. Not as close as the score indicates here. The family stuck together and they were able to pull through again in this group. These seniors, to be a part of the squad last year that roared their way through the schedule, there's part of them, I'm sure, that will be even more proud of a second straight state championship, to go back and do it all over again.
That's right. To win one is an incredible feat. It's hard enough to win 1 state championship, let alone 2. I mean, having played, it's tough to win a game, period, on a Friday or a Saturday. You just want to go one at a time, and wow, this team has marched through the last 2 seasons and done a great job, losing only 2 games.
42-21 our final score. Nazareth, state champs in 2015. We got plenty of rain on Friday. That's a different shower that you don't mind. Tim Racky wins his 6th state championship. We'll be back. Victory celebration for Nazareth. The Roadrunners, state champs in 2015, taking the Class 5A title game over Lincoln Way West by a final of 42-21. Matt Rodewald, Chris Highland with you. Let's send it downstairs to Donnie Tillman.
All right, thanks, guys. The highlight himself, Ivory Kelly Martin, joins me right now. And you were getting treated, and then you come into the game, and you were treating the fans to a touchdown. Just talk about this game today.
You know, it was all overall great game by me and my team. We've been doing this all year. We've been going out there, playing our hearts out. And today we really executed, and that's why we won today.
Talk about the team, talk about the family. You had a convoy in front of you every time you ran the ball. I mean, you had some really great blocking up front.
Yeah, those big guys been doing it for me all year. You know, they get me past that first level. When I get to that second level, I know what to do, and that's what I did.
2-time state champion now. How does that feel?
It's great. Winning both years last year, even though I didn't play much, instead of an in-the-state title, winning, be able to go all throughout this year and carry my team with the rest of my players, it was awesome.
All right, well, thanks for joining us. I know you got some celebration to do, so go ahead and enjoy it with your team. All right, let's bring in Coach Racky here. Coach, you talked about all 3 phases at halftime, and in the second half, for the most part, it was the same story.
Yeah, we've been stressing, like I told you, going a full 48 minutes, and to finish it, we wanted to get the running clock right away, and we did. So all of our seniors got to play, which is always a good thing, the more guys that you get to play. But it's a credit to my coaching staff, how they planned all year. Casey Moran, offense coordinator, Jeff Tumpane, my defense coordinator, Andy Miller, special teams. I'm not that smart of a guy, but I'm pretty smart when it comes to picking coaching staffs. I got a great staff of men around me.
I'll tell you what, you have a great bunch of kids, and they strategically waited for that Gatorade bath when they knew they would catch you at that moment.
Yeah, they are. They are a smart group. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about it, but it's still, that's the bath you want, that Gatorade bath at the end.
Last year had to be special, but just talk about the moment right now of winning another state championship.
Oh, it's incredible because last year's team was so dominant, and these guys had to find their own identity, getting out of that shadow from last year's team, and their older brothers from last year were texting me, emailing me, and really wanted them to do well. And how they developed over the year, this team, seniors, incredible, outstanding.
All right, well, they got some celebration to do, so go ahead and enjoy with your team, Coach. Appreciate your time. We'll send it back up to you in the booth.
All right, Donnie, thank you very much. Of course, the amount of success at Nazareth since Dennis Moran was leading the way, 17 years as a head coach, and a good program that he led at Nazareth. But since then, Tim Rackey came in, and Dennis Moran now the school president, and since 15 playoff wins up until today, been in the playoffs so many times. And to watch Tim Rackey build this squad, and Casey Moran, the offensive coordinator for the Roadrunners, had one heck of a day today of play calling. And one of the guys that Tim Rackey has said has grown as an offensive coordinator and has really become more of a coordinator that adjusts at what are they doing that we can be good at this point. And you saw him shine today with balancing it out between Carson Bartels and the running backs, being able to kind of work with those guys as well.
Yeah, he used absolutely every weapon that he had. Carson Bartels was 16 of 22 throwing the ball today. Ivory Kelly Martin, you saw his stats, 170 yards, 4 touchdowns. Justin Weller had a huge game receiving. He had 8 catches for 139 yards. This is a team that in all facets of their offense was clicking from the very first kickoff. Just a great day for Nazareth.
Let's listen in with the award ceremony and the presentation right now for Lincoln Way West. You see Lincoln Way West, the captains on the stand there, and Brian Brokop up there along with Gabe Montalvo, as you see, and you saw the amount of motion from him. Justin Witt. The second place trophy, the runner-up for the first trophy for the football team and the football program. Dave Ernst and company, they definitely earned it. And they get a second place finish after finishing the year at 11-3.
You never want to walk away with that trophy, but you know, hopefully when those kids come back to this school in 5, 6, 7 years down the road and they see that second place trophy, they can be proud of the effort they put up, not just today, but the entire season.
And the road that they went through to get there by taking out Dunlap, and after getting the overtime loss to Lincoln Way North and recovering from that, they got sent south. Nobody really expected them to do that, and from there they were essentially anointed one of the favorites to get here, and they did so. They did everything they were expected to do once they got into the playoffs.
Yeah, they took down a very good Peoria High team that was #1 in the state for a little while in 5A, and they also took care of Champaign Central, 2 very good downstate programs that play tough football in Central Illinois. And I tell you what, this team well deserving of their second place trophy today.
Get a look at the Nazareth kids getting ready to go get their championship trophy. And for Tim Rackey, for 4 years at Driscoll Catholic, he was able to do this over and over and over again. And there was no guarantee that he'd ever get back after a pair of 3 and 6 seasons when he left for Nazareth, and may have thought, what am I doing leaving that behind? But it's all worth it in the end. As now he is ready to go pick up his second straight state championship. And a big family behind him. And the Nazareth kids are ready to go, and captains will go up there and get their trophy. You'll see Carson Bartels immediately named captain after the season. One of those guys with moxie in the huddle, the first guy that's always optimistic. You see Dennis Moran on stage there as well. It's got to be special for him after 17 years as a head coach, and here he is watching over this school that has meant so much to him. He didn't play in the state championship game last year. We expected to see him. This time, it's his team. Carson Bartels, state champion at Nazareth here in 2015.
What a scene. Good for those kids. They played hard today. They've played hard all year. Well-deserved first place trophy. for Carson Bartels and also Julian Love. And you see Simmons up there as well. And those others down there waiting next to the stage, eager to get their hands on that state trophy.
Nazareth, everyone expected them to do it last year. They dropped off the radar after a loss in week number 4, slipped even deeper under the radar after losing to Joliet Catholic. But you have to slay the dragon that torments you sometimes. They did that in the quarterfinal against Joliet Catholic, a shutout win in the semis, and here they are once again, the Roadrunners, state champions for a second straight season. You do it in 6A, you do it in 5A, doesn't matter what class they put you in. Congratulations to Nazareth, state champions after a 42-21 win. We have a good one coming up in our Class 6A game after that. Nazareth champions, they'll celebrate. Columbia Blue looks good on a Saturday morning, don't you think? Nazareth and the Roadrunners, state champs once again. We'll be back here. You're watching the IHSA State Championships on Comcast Sportsnet.